Hello everybody, this is Monstrositus X, and I'm getting back at you with another episode of the Matrix Doctrine, Systems of Control. Words.
Is there something I can do for you? Trung Van Duck, Chump Van Duke. The Van Ho, the Van How. Nugent Lo Ming, Nguyen Lo Ming. Well, you have to excuse me. I don't know Vietnamese. I don't know much about pronunciation.
Words are the very first system of control. It's the very first thing your parents start teaching you, and it's the very first thing that is used to manipulate you in every time, in any way, in every way. Because from the very first words that you learn, you are beginning to be manipulated. You're beginning to be indoctrinated into a system, one of the systems of control of the Matrix. Again, the Matrix is all around you, just like in the movie. Everything you see, it's all a system of controlling you to turn human beings into money, to keep you striving for that goal of happiness, the pursuit of happiness, and the dream, the American dream. Now, that's all well and fine. I don't have nothing against the American dream and none of that stuff, but I believe that most of the things that we have or don't have is a direct result of our idiocy. And when I say idiocy, is our ignorance is what I'm talking about. And the refusal to see, that's where the idiocy comes from. The refusal to see anything else. We told all the time, origins, when this word is origin, has its origin in Latin, this, that, and the next, and all of that. But where did Latin come from? Where did anything come from before that? Somebody made it up. In the clip, that's my boy Billy D. Williams in a movie from back in 1973 called Hit. His daughter gets killed, and he's some kind of secret agent working for the government, and he wants vengeance, and he wants to make them all pay. But in that scene, he's talking Vietnamese, and the man is correcting everything he says. And I was watching it this morning. I just had to clip it because I'm saying that's a video I'm making, and it's ironic. Well, it's just happenstance that that's the same topic that I'm talking about, and this guy's correcting his pronunciation. Isn't it crazy that we make up words, and then when we don't pronounce them correct, we are deemed ignorant or low intelligence, or unable to be taught? I'm going to get into school and religion and stuff like that later. That's probably going to be, those two are probably going to be next in the systems of control list, probably next week, and for Monday. And words are the first things in that is used to mold your brain, how you think, how you use words. If you don't pronounce them right, like I said, you're deemed to be low intelligence, an idiot, all types of things. Black people came famous for changing words around, coming up with new words, and we were deemed unintelligent. Low thought processes, ignorant, all kinds of things. But now you see all kinds of people following behind our ignorance and using the same words that we've made up. It's become a whole culture. All of these things are fake. Culture is just things that people do. And we make big deals out of it. But it's nothing. It's really nothing. It holds no value. Like I said, in the first video, the first Matrix video, is the only things that's important is eating, procreating, shelter, and water. That's the only things important. And words, communicating with words, skew and distract from true communication. True communication is emotion, the way animals communicate. Animals communicate in a way that you know what they're saying, you know what they're feeling, even though they're not saying anything as far as using words to you. They know what they're trying to say to you, and you understand what they're trying to say to you because they're using emotion. The majority of the time when animals communicate with you, you understand what they're saying because they're using an emotional connection. And this is one thing that I wondered if people ever think of, because I thought of it. At some point in man's existence, every word we've pulled out of our ass in order to create, this language that we have. So, and it happened because we started making things. You couldn't just use and grunting and pointing at stuff when we were describing trees and rocks and stuff like that. Yeah, but when we start making spears and clothes and shoes and fire and shelters and spearheads and axes and hammers and all of these different tools that we use in surviving, we had to start giving them different sounds so that we can communicate when we needed them. It make it a lot easier. And we think that because we did that, it makes us something great. But it was a necessity. Like I said in the other video, we were weak. We're the weakest thing out there. No real fangs. Our mouth wasn't designed for biting in the same way that other animals' teeth are designed and mouth structure. So we're the weakest things, the top on the list on the food menu. And so we come up with words, and now that we've gotten rid of our competition as far as surviving, we're using these words against each other. And we rank each other by how we speak, how we learn, all of these things, using words. And if people at one point had no dialogue and we just grunted, did anybody ever think about animals? And when they first came about, did dogs always bark in communicating? Or did they first have something and they learned how to bark later on? Elephants, when they trumpet, monkeys when they make their noises, cats when they meow, mice when they squeak. Did all of these animals just come with instinctually because they're part of nature? Or did the first dogs have to find their way through grunting and making all kinds of strange noises before they come up with a bark and a whine and the things that howling and things like dogs and cats and animals do and to communicate with each other? We'll never know because we wasn't there, but people will try to presume that they understand and know when it's all bullshit. I said before that scientists, you can say a lot of the things that scientists say, okay, could be deemed true, but from what I say, especially with astrophysicists, 90 to 95% of what they say is false. The word time is fake. So then you create another thing called time. The word time is fake, and then the actual concept of time is fake. So then you create space-time. So you're building on top of fake stuff. You're say you're building a house on this fake foundation. How can it stand? But people take it and they say, because these people have an education, that's the one thing that you can say, that they know that you won't understand the thing that they're saying, and so you won't be able to disprove them. They use words that you can't understand in order to make you believe in things that don't exist. Now, like I said, everything is, they probably have some things that 95, so that means about 5%, I'll say holds true. But the rest of it is all fabricated bullcrap. That's why I've had those videos, those streams where I did the Matrix Doctrine, and I went over trying to show how they tell you that they don't know, but then say we know. And that's using words. Fake words, using fake ideologies, fake theories. Theories are just that. Ideas that someone pulled out of their ass, but they use this fake word that sounds educational, highly intelligent, and they use it to say, yeah, we pulled this out our ass, and this we want you to believe in the shit that we yanked. And that's what it is, and people believe it. And that's what words do. We use words to miscommunicate mostly. And the majority of the time when we talk and communicate with one another, it's wasting time with a load of bullcrap, talking about movies that are fake and made up, in situations that are fake and made up, and we'll argue about these things. Religion, all of these things were words that came into fruition, that somebody put into a story, and other people said, hey, that sounds cool, I want to believe that. But all of these words are the first line of indoctrination. The first things to teach you supposedly how to exist in our society, but really what it is an indoctrination to making sure that it's like drinking to smoking weed to doing other harder drugs. There's that gateway drug. Well, words is the gateway indoctrination. The first things that they teach you in order to get you fully indoctrinated into the Matrix, fully involved with the Matrix. It's just like in the Matrix. People who are connected and don't really understand that they are part of this Matrix, they're potential agents. Words are the first things that get you involved in that Matrix, that get you so involved and committed to it that you won't be able to see anything else besides the Matrix. The Matrix is all that exists, and that you can't imagine seeing any way else of living. And that's what the function of the Matrix is. And words is the first and most important, because that's how we communicate. So if you are built on a system, your ideology is built on a system of fake, that means your ideology is fake. How could you have something that you use, like philosophy, but every word that you speak out of your mouth, basically philosophy is the study of words and using those words to come up with ideas and ideals to make sense of life. But how can any of that make sense? How can you make sense of life with an imagined word? Something that has no meaning on its surface. We gave it meaning, but that's not what it means. We had to come up with a meaning in the first place. Do you understand? So we invented the word and the meaning for it. It doesn't mean that it holds any relevance, especially when there's no emotion behind that word. If there's no emotion, there's no relevance, because the only thing that's important is the emotions, because we're trying to communicate emotions through our words. So when we start talking about things that have no real relevance in emotions, committing to each other, showing that we care for each other, because that's what we do. We either anger each other. When you know someone, you either get angry at them, you sharing your dialogue so that you can make each other laugh and be happy. You're angry, you're sad, you want to show that you like hanging around them. So you like when you leave your dog and you come home, he's happy. He shows that emotion of being happy. That's what we do. We give each other dap. We say what's up, all of this stuff, greetings. But it's all just emotion. That's the only thing that's important. All of that other stuff is irrelevant. It really is. But we argue over these things, and we use words to do it. We use words to mislead people. We use words to lie to people. Emotions, you can't lie. Well, you can, because people get good in using. See, that's what's so great about animals. Animals don't use their emotions to lie. But people use their words to lie, and their emotions. They use everything that they know to lie. So, follow me if you like what I'm saying here. If you like what I'm bringing to you. If you like the Matrix Doctrine, I'm going to keep going down the list. We're going to be going for a long while here. And later on, I'm going to come up with a video. I'm going to do a live stream backing this up. So around 4 o'clock. So get at me, and I'll get back at y'all with some more systems of control. The next one, like I said, should be either religion or school. I think religion should come first. Parents teach their kids religion before they send them to school. Little bits and pieces. So anyway, if you like what I'm doing, like, subscribe, do that YouTube thing, share with your friends, and please help me grow this channel, so this one and GODDOMNED Comics, so that I can help bring might to you guys. The music for might is the power of might, the strength of you defend what's prepare to see him time that turns the city he'll show evil no no pity. It's kind of like marching, drum and beat. Pum, 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 pum. When criminals succeed, then you turn. The power of the strength of they'll defend was prepare to see him. So yeah, man, get at me. I'm gonna have a lot of stuff. I'm working on Might hard. I'm not gonna be making a whole lot of videos every week. Until after I get some of this stuff up on this work up on the Might sign up page. And then I'm gonna get back into these videos and until it gets unless it gets too cold or whatever. But yeah, people, get back at me and I'll get back at you. This is your boy, your homeboy, your man, your brother from another mother, signing out. Peace. And remember, if you haven't been freed, you're a potential agent.
Control. The Matrix built to keep us under control in order to change a human being into this.